we got to talk about this Black Panther here. Um, Ryan Coogler was recently asked about Black Panther 2 filming in Georgia, and anybody who, for those 12 people we were talking about that watched our last show last week, we had a great discussion about the Will Smith Antoine Fuqua movie Emancipation, which was previously filming in Georgia. They are now gone, and this is all over the new laws restricting voters in the state of Georgia. So that's what all this is surrounding. Will Smith, Antoine Fuqua are gone. Ryan Coogler, assessing the situation, has decided to stay and continue filming in Georgia. And in the article in comicbook.com, he states that he's lived in Atlanta for the last 8 months while he's been filming his last movie. Quote, I have long looked forward to returning, but when I was informed of the passage of the SB 202 in the state and its ramifications for the state's voters, I was profoundly disappointed. Quote, while I wish to turn my concern into action, I cannot do so without being first educated on the specifics of Georgia. Having now spoken with many voting rights activists in the state, I've come to understand that many of the people employed by my film, including all the local vendors and businesses we engage, are the very same people who will bear the brunt of SB 202. For those reasons, I will not be engaging in a boycott of Georgia. What I will be doing is using my voice to emphasize the effects of SB 202, its shameful roots in Jim Crow, and doing all I can to support organizations fighting voter suppression in the state. After announcing the restrictions of SB 2 in the state of Georgia and calling on the Senate to pass HR 1 which is the For the People Act, Coogler went on to commit to making change. He called on movement for the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act as well. And let's see, quote, our film is staying in Georgia. Additionally, I have made a personal commitment to raise awareness about ways to help overturn this harmful bill and continue to educate on this matter from people on the ground. I will encourage everyone with me to tap in with the local community directly affected by Senate Bill 202 and to leverage their influence and resources in the in the fight for this particular and essential pillar of democracy. He also called on supporters to donate to the Fair Flight Act, excuse me. B, what are your thoughts? How do you feel?
I'm gonna have to teach you to abbreviate, man. I was falling asleep. You just read the article to me. It's like,
You done sleeping? You awake?
I'm so woke, I'm still sleeping.
Oh my God.
I mean, he makes good points. That's cool. There's more than one way to affect change.
Okay.
Well, I still lean on the side of taking money out of their pockets. He's right. The people who will be affected the most if you take money out of that state are the folks that are employed by him and some of those black and brown folks in the state. But I personally, if I was presented with the same thing, I would probably still leave. It's just my opinion. So.
Okay. So you understand, but you don't, you in the same boat, you wouldn't make the same decision. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't change my stance from last time we talked about. But I understand where he's coming from. I won't knock him for doing that because he's saying he's looking out for folks that are there. But if it was me, I would pull money out of there. I would take money out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Just because historically, like I said, historically change is usually affected by fucking with the money.
Right.
But
Right.
there are different ways to fuck with the money. So
Yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. Coogler's in a very fucked either way situation. Um, and I say that because I mean I don't know where they were in terms of, you know, how much they have filmed or hadn't filmed in Georgia. So that's one thing. Um, the bill is another thing on top of that to have to make and consider, in regards to what you do next. And then remember, this going all the way back to there is no Chadwick. So, he's had to make pivots. He's got those Akeem Olajuwon feet right now, or those James Harden feet. He's been traveling all over the place trying to get to the hole. And, as a director with that, what, uh, Black Panther broke 1 billion, right? In terms of like overall worldwide sales. So, I mean, he's dealing with a lot. And it's, I think where he is in terms of his career had something to do with it as opposed to Will. I think Will could take the loss, both personally as well as financially. That's just me speculating. I don't know for certain. But also, I know this is a Disney property that Coogler's on, not the other way around. So I'm sure they're in his ear about certain things as well. You know what I mean? And like I said, like we talked about last week when this came up, there is no Wakanda without Georgia. So it's hard to just really just pick that up and take it somewhere for tons of reasons. Continuity, different actors, traveling. Like, it's not an easy task, both creatively and logistically. Um, I'm rooting for this movie because I believe it's got Dr. Doom coming. Um, There might be Namor. There's been tons of speculation about who's in and who's not. But in terms of what Coogler's got to deal with, I definitely understand. It is slightly disappointing, but also, again, it's just a really fucked situation. I really think it's a lose-lose, like more so than it already is or would be under normal circumstances. But everything all considered, something's going to give, and I just hope it's not the success of this next movie. I'll put it like that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm Black AF was rooting for Ryan Coogler, that's for sure.